Welcome back to Studio 10. You're all invited to a town hall meeting in Foley tomorrow to address underage drinking and prescription drug use in our community. We have Shay and Deborah from the Baldwin County Community Alliance. And ladies, being at this meeting means so much, even for those of us who don't have any children, because kids look up to all of us, really.
Right.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Baldwin County Alliance and what that means, why we should all be there.
Well, the Baldwin County Community Alliance is a group of over 30 agencies with 52 members that meet monthly to discuss how to decrease underage drinking and prescription drug use in Baldwin County. So with this meeting, we're going to have a panel that Deborah can tell you, all the members of our panel that will be there, to really get the word out for, even if you don't have children, if you're a grandparent, if you have neighbors that you have prescriptions in your house, you have alcohol that may be accessible to youth. So it is going to be able to give us the opportunity to let community members know what they can do to help us decrease underage drinking and prescription drug use.
Okay, so Deborah, tell us about the panel who will be there.
Well, the panel is going to be made up of educators. The principal of Foley High School, Russ Moore, is on the panel. Our chief of police of Foley, David Wilson, is on the panel. We have a DEA agent on the panel. We have individuals from the medical industry who will be on the panel, the healthcare field, who will talk about what they see in emergency rooms and the problems that young people have when they are involved with drugs. And I think it'll go, not only will we be looking at prescription drugs and underage drinking, but we'll look at a lot of the issues that deal with drugs all around in our community. We're focusing on Foley. I'm with Snook Youth Club, and so that's an organization in Foley, and myself and Ansley Beverly, who's a counselor at Foley High School, thought it was really important in our community that we have a town hall meeting, because as Shea said, parents don't perceive this as a problem. And so often a lot of the drugs and the alcohol the children are getting, they're getting at home.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Are most of the prescription medications, most of the adult beverages coming from parents, coming from friends?
I would say coming from both. Not necessarily from parents. It will be go to a neighbor's house, the parents, the neighbor, the grandparent, they don't think about their prescriptions that they have in their cabinets. They don't use them anymore. They go to the dentist, they have a prescription filled, they use 2 of them. They leave the other 8 in their cabinet. Someone comes over, they don't go check that because they don't use it. So same thing with the alcohol. If you don't monitor it and kind of keep up with what you have, then you really don't know what's being taken in and out. So it's just to be kind of more awareness.
Yeah, and the other thing that parents are not aware of are the liability and that's another reason why we want to do this town hall meeting, so the parents can understand their liability if something happens, if there's alcohol that's made accessible, not through the parents' own fault, but through the young people. Maybe their child doesn't do it, but their child's friend can go in the refrigerator and take out a beer, or go in their bar and take out something. If there's an accident, if something happens related to alcohol or drugs that are taken in the home, the parent is then responsible, and that can be a monetary fine, it can be confiscation of their property, and that's one of the things that Chief Wilson wants to talk about, that we call it social hosting, but there's actually a law on the books that deals with house parties and the responsibility of parents with house parties and what can possibly happen.
Repercussions can be very serious.
Yes.
Let me ask you guys this, just for adults who are watching. I know back when I was a teenager, almost everybody had the fake IDs. Now, are you seeing more kids with fake IDs going into, say, gas stations, or are you seeing more kids stealing from parents, from their friends? What are you seeing more of right now?
Well, you know, in the meeting last week, they just talked about how sophisticated kids, because of our 21st century technology, they're able, and digital printing, they're able to create these IDs that are almost perfect. There's one thing that they don't have access to. I'm not going to say what it is.
Right.
But there's one thing they don't have access to, so they get caught. But they're much more sophisticated with it. But then there are those adults or older, say 20 or 21-year-old, who sees no problem with getting something for young people.
But parents still need to be on the lookout not only for keeping an eye on their prescription medications, the adult beverages they may have in their cabinet, refrigerator, but also need to be on the lookout in their children's rooms while it's for the fake
Exactly.
IDs.
Yes, yeah, and look at the behavior of the child. You know, that's something else when we're looking at the risk factors. If parents are aware of some changes that may be going on with their child, if they are involved with drinking or with drugs. A lot of parents just, I mean, there's a lack of information, which is why we're doing this.
And I was looking at some statistics this morning for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. 4,300 kids under the age of 21, 4,300 die from drinking each year. That's a huge number. Under 21, not even supposed to be drinking, and 4,300 are dying each year. What are the statistics like in this area?
Well, that's a major issue. You saying that number, you see how large it is and what an impact it has, but in our community, in Baldwin County in general, we don't have a very high perception of risk of alcohol. Looking at Pride Survey data, Pride Survey, we surveyed all of the high schools, grades 7 through 11, and our perception of risk, youth perception of risk of alcohol was the lowest, lower than any type of drugs, lower than tobacco. They do not perceive it as a dangerous thing. And the Pride Survey was also given to parents, and the parents' perception of risk, alcohol is also the lowest. So they don't perceive it as a harmful thing, and that's also part of the problem. Some believe if we let them do it with us, it's okay. And that's another problem that we have, is that you then take away any fear the kids might have, and you also kind of give them permission that if they think it's okay, if these parents let us drink with them, then it can't be that bad. So next time when we're alone, when we're somewhere, it just takes a lot of the risk away from them, and they don't perceive it as such a danger.
So these are some of the issues that are going to be discussed at this town hall meeting. Again, a major need for this. It's going to be tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 7 at the Chamber Auditorium in Foley's City Hall. If you have questions about the meeting or about the Baldwin County Community Alliance, go to our Studio 10 page on fox10tv.com for answers. Ladies, thank you so much for answering some questions this
Thank you for
morning.
having us.
Thank you for having us.